I bet. So let's dive into YouTube real quick if y'all want to, because I love geeking out about YouTube, especially like farmers on YouTube. Because when was the time frame you said you started, like 2019, 2020 on YouTube?
I think 2021.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so around 2020 to 2021, like I guess like right during COVID and right after, I feel like there's a huge explosion in farmers on social media and YouTube because they're like kind of like what you said, like, hey, we're doing all this stuff. Let's show people what we're doing. And it sounds like you guys took advantage of it. I mean, what was the first video process like, and what have you learned since you've been doing it for like 5 years now?
So the first video that I did was actually getting I had gotten a new sprayer.
Okay.
What?
Yep. And it was I don't even like to talk about it. It was bad. It's and of course, the first people that see it are everybody that knows you.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you gotta get in the it's hard to even it's some days even today it's hard to get in the mindset that there's gonna be haters.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is the locals are the one. I'm not anybody specifically, but the locals are the ones that dog on you the hardest.
Oh
Just because
yeah.
they've known you before. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It's cool. We have a lot of support behind it, but yeah, I guess to answer the question, it was just giving it a go and clicking publish on it, and I mean, I don't know.
It's something because I've given talks and stuff about social media and things, and I always tell people it's like a muscle. You have to continue to work it for it
Mm,
to get bigger and stronger. And so obviously as we continue to post videos, they get better and stronger because you continue to practice it and do it. Your first one's going to be awful.
Yeah,
a
and I
hundred
would say
percent.
that
Yeah.
the first one is like trying to be too perfect. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Is like you're not a production company. Just talk like I kind of tell people talk like you're recording yourself on Snapchat and sending it to your best friend,
That's pretty good. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because you're just like whatever, I don't care what it is. You just talk like you're talking to your buddy, and that's what people want. And they want the personality behind it. They
Hmm.
don't want a perfectional or perfectionist.
Professionally and perfectionist.
Yeah,
That's what you're
exactly.
trying to say.
I don't know.
Both. Yeah, I've heard that like people want to be talked to, they don't want to be talked down at. So you've got to be
Right.
very careful on like how you word it. But yeah, no, that's all very relatable. When I started doing YouTube videos years ago, there's a video of my friend taken when I was trying to narrate a video, and I was like, oh, I need to redo this. And my wife was sitting next to me. She was like, no, it doesn't need to be perfect. Just get the video out. I was like, okay, all right. But yeah, I feel like your first like 5 to 100 videos are going to be not ideal, but at least you're getting the reps in it. And like you said, Emily, it's like a muscle. You got to flex it, work on it, and then eventually, like your thousandth video will be really, really good.
Hmm. And I would say too, like with our videos, I try to edit, like, I don't want to edit out much. Like, I
Mm,
just let us talk. And I think one thing that like people will always consistently say to us too is like, you're the same person online as you are in real life. And for us, like, we're like, well, duh, like, that's just who we are. But I think it's for us, we'd rather be authentic, be ourselves. And that's what we're going to show online. Even if it's not perfect, there's definitely times where I'm like how Avery just did, where I combine two words and I'll just keep that in the video because I don't care. Like that's
yeah.
just what happens.
It's more personable. Yeah, I've read a bunch of articles that are saying like on YouTube, more of the not scripted, more genuine content is going more viral and getting more views as opposed to like the super edited like movie like videos out there. So that's good. You guys are definitely like on the trend. It seems like that's cool.
It's also just easier to edit.
It
Oh
is a
yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I already like. I mean, it'll take me like each day probably 1 to 2 hours to edit and like get everything all going, everything all set up and stuff for each video. I don't want to spend more of that time. I want to actually be at the farm doing the farm stuff and
Yeah.
recording it and everything, not sitting at my computer. The whole point too of like why we do what we do is that so I'm not stuck at home sitting at a computer all the time. And so I'm trying to still minimize that myself and get the videos out and then go actually live the life too.
Oh yeah. No, totally. Do you both find yourself like doing stuff on the farm and you're like, dang it, that would have been really good content for YouTube? Oh
I get
really?
I get harped on quite a bit. Why aren't you filming? Why aren't you filming? I'm like, I could film my entire day, and it's hard to get the one thing for me that's hard to do is to get my mind wrapped around that people care about this
Mm-hmm.
specific thing that I'm doing, because to me, I'm like, it's just another task today, you know. And the other problem is it does slow you down.
Oh yeah.
So there's situations where, you know, we have some employees and they're all cool with it, but in the end of the day, I'm not the one paying them. It's my dad and his business partner. So when I'm slowing them down, it's costing them money. So
Mm-hmm.
you kind of gotta. We're not to the point where we're making enough money that I can subsidize it by any means. So
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You got to call it there. It's like this will be good content, but it's kind of getting in the way of doing the job. It's like, what do I do? No, I get it. I get
yep,
it.
Well, and we do have enough tasks in each day that like we could film one or two of the tasks and have a great video and still get like five other things done.
Mm.
and as a farmer too, I could be doing 10 random things today that just aren't going to make sense in a video. You know, unless you film all of them and explain why you're switching, I don't know. There's a lot of
I think that's
excuses.
something he says to just make an excuse because he tells me that he'll come home and I'll ask him, "Have you filmed any, or did you film anything today?" And he'll tell me that, and I'm like, "Nobody cares. Like, just film what you're doing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean that makes sense. Like you got to worry about the context of the video, but also it's like this might be really interesting that people don't think about. Like something, I
Yep.
don't know. They're like, oh, I didn't know that happens on at a farm. Like that's unusual. I didn't know about that. That's cool. You know.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, you got to worry about the context there.
And
Are
people
there?
seem to like the explaining in depth, like nerding out on like certain specific things, because I think a lot of people see the general
Mm,
process. I mean, they know you till and then you plant and then you spray and then you know, XYZ. They understand that, but they want to know like the in depth of like a seed meter
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
or a spraying mix or how you get it from here to here. You know what I mean? I think people like that, so I got to do a little better at that.